again. We know this is what we're meant to do. So we wake up, put our feet on the floor, go and conquer the day like a warrior, like warriors. Cause that's what a tribe does. We got your back so you can relax and focus on all the important stuff, like getting your business done. This is our tribe. We look out for each other. That's right, that's right. This is our tribe. We help each other grow in business and life. That's right, that's right. No need to panic anymore. We got lots of support and an army of warriors by our side. We fight the good fight when we unite. We fight the good fight when we unite. Cause that's what a tribe does. We got your back so you can relax and focus on all the important stuff, like getting your business done. This is our tribe. We look out for each other. That's right, that's right. This is our tribe. We help each other grow in business and life. That's right, that's right. This
Are your Are we ready? Are we here?
We're here. We are live.
Are we live? Is the new and improved coffee show ready to go?
We are live.
Good afternoon, evening, and wherever you might be in the world, everybody. How nice is this to get a little bit of a new session underway and see what we can do for the coffee shop conversation show, and hopefully bring people some interesting chats on how today, at least, you can improve your business and what things are working for people, and maybe what things are not working for people. Oh, and I'm still very soft, which is great. Right, I better turn myself up a bit more. Perfect the voiceover with the microphone problems. Is that better? Am I now? Yeah, is that
Yes,
better? Okay,
that's
okay.
better, James. That's
Right.
better, James.
Jolly good.
So, James, why don't you introduce yourself, and I'll introduce myself as host and co-host.
Hello, everybody. I am James Brown. I'm a voiceover artist. I have jamesbrownvoice.com. Yeah, that's me.
And I am Sondra Ray. I am the owner of Get It Done Coaching and VA Services, and I'm super excited about the new and improved coffee show. Can't say chat and show at the same time. So what are we talking about today, James?
So today is all about new and improved. New and improved is the theme. So we are looking for some interesting revelations and inspiration on what people can do in order to improve their businesses, using some of perhaps the newest and latest technology, or new things that they've discovered that have helped, and ways hopefully that people have been able to take issues that were bothering them or holding them back, and transform themselves a little bit. And there are plenty of things that I know I would like to improve. So hopefully we'll be able to find some good info. So if anybody has something that they've implemented recently and want to kick us off with something, please let us know.
I think we should start with Peter, since he has decided to make the new and improved coffee show.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, make sure you raise a hand. Good job. Following instructions, Peter.
I had to get my 10 cents in. I think this is absolutely incredible, and I think that because our spaces are growing so fast, there's all these changes, and not only in the Explore ProTech space, but the coffee shop conversation show. The projects that we're stepping into, everything is just changing so fast that it's almost like every step you take, there has to be something new and improved. Otherwise, you're just doing something the old way. It might have worked in the past, but it might not work in the future. So I think this topic is great, especially because this is now the new and improved coffee shop conversation show with James Brown and Sondra Ray. So I'm very excited. There must be so many of us that have things that are going on that are new and improved. Just saying. I would raise your hands if I were you.
I'm going to kick it off then, because I'm about 2 years into my voiceover business journey. I've been doing it for longer than that, but actually running it as a business. I've been doing that for just under 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in September. The only reason I have that as a date is because it's when the website went up live. So good a date as any, I figure, right? I have found like my biggest difficulties. I do a lot of networking, a lot of Zoom related networking, quite a lot of in-person networking. The kind of the minutiae of business has been tricky for me. So in terms of managing, for instance, who I've contacted, how I've got hold of people, when I should follow up with those people, managing my time effectively and making sure I'm doing all the things I need to do, which I still struggle with. But one of the things that's helped me particularly over the last couple of months since I got it in is my first CRM, which is customer relationship management tool. So I got something which is called Nimble. I don't know if anyone else has Nimble. Anyone got Nimble? Lesetja, you have it? No? Okay, everyone has. No one, but it's a very cool tool. All my recent contacts have gone in there. It also it tracks my emails, which is very cool, and lets me see so in terms of my email outreach, it lets me know whether people are opening my emails, are they going back into them, but it also tells me the ones that haven't been opened, or the ones that have been ignored. And a nice thing is that I can schedule follow-ups in that. So I can put a little schedule in that I should contact this person again in 3 weeks, or I can contact them again in a month. And it also tells me if someone turns around and says, go away, never speak to me again, please. That's a good way that I can strike them out and make sure that I'm not bothering them in the future. Because, sometimes actually a definitive no is as good as a maybe, because it saves you wasting your time and pursuing things that are just going down a dark alley. And I found I can also put my tasks in there that I need to get done. I found it's just helped me streamline some of the minutiae of my business, which has been very helpful. Does anyone else have similar tools to that, and how have they found they've benefited or not benefited?
Yeah, I have a CRM also. Desato is my CRM, and we're actually doing an overhaul right now. Miss Somerville's agency is helping me do an overhaul of mine because I was not using it efficiently and effectively. Systems are great if you use them efficiently and effectively. I've had it for 3 years, and I was just bootstrapping it and doing what I need to do absolute, but not using all the features that come along with that. So yes, James, CRMs are amazing as long as you're using them. So I know a lot of people that purchase things like that and do not use them, or use them for one thing and it does 5,000 things. So because technology improves all the time. So this particular platform, is getting ready to add another thing where you can do payment as a payment server, and that's something they weren't doing 6 months ago. So making sure somebody keeps track of those new improvements, I think is super important too. Hi, Miss Janine. Come on in the conversation.
Hi, everyone. So just going back to the new and improved, when I started my entrepreneurial journey as a virtual assistant, I was focused. I had everything written down. I had a proper plan and goals, of course, and all those beautiful things. And as you evolve in your business and you meet amazing entrepreneurs in your circle, your things shift. But that's a good thing. That really is a good thing, because the importance that I've actually learned through the changes that took place in my business is so settling, because it took me out of a comfort zone where I'm now thriving. I only focused when I started to being a sales virtual assistant. I am now more than that. I am a sales mentor to other virtual assistants and other business owners, which I never thought I would become, because, that was not part of the goal or the plan. So I do think that opening up and have the diversity to change is a big, big, big thing when it comes to exploring and growing as an entrepreneur. I am Janine Lingenfelder from Dubai, and I'm the owner of Jelani Sales.
And Niki, you want to jump in on that as well, please?
Thank you. Heart attack. Thank you for putting, sorry.
Sorry, a bit too loud now, possibly. 'cause you're
Yeah,
breathing.
no, I'm talking Janine, like, do your volume up a bit. Yeah, I'm looking for a CRM at the moment. So I've just opened Nimble now, so thanks for that. And yeah, because it's the same sort of thing. I've got into the networking, connecting, and it's like a lot of balls to juggle. And I'm not very good at juggling one ball, never mind, more. Or plate spinning, actually, I heard today, which it is, that's what it is. So even my trusty analog bullet journal system is not working right now because there's too much. So I'm going to look into Nimble. That's great, because I need something that's, yeah, easy and, yeah, reminders. That's always good. So thanks, James, for that. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
No problem at all. And Peter, you're there in my top left-hand corner. What's helped you?
Yeah, I'm looking at everybody in this space, and I think that's the nice thing about building relationships in a space where you actually really get to know people. And I'm looking at spaces like Joanne's space, and you're talking about new and improved. I mean, she'd shown me something I'd never seen before until very recently in regards to having your photos taken virtually. And I'm looking at Hendrik's space and the training that they're doing. Like, to me, there's just so much stuff that is happening that is new that we as entrepreneurs haven't seen before. But it's exciting. And I think when you get stuck in that space of, well, I'm just going to do it this way because that's the way that's always worked. Well, I mean, I've got news for you. Those ways sometimes just stop working and then you get left behind. So it might be a good idea to play catch up.
This, I think, is can be sometimes a little bit intimidating, though, don't you? I mean, it's some of you guys have been running your own businesses much longer than I have, and sometimes it's even with the pace of new gadgets and new pieces of software or new bits of information that one has to digest on a, sometimes it feels like a daily basis. There's so many more things. It's like, oh, right, well, now so I've got my CRM, and then there's an add-on to my CRM, which sort of micromanages my time into like even smaller segments. This is something I've been using called Motion, which now, so if I have a task that I want to get done, I have to get it done, but I don't know entirely where to fit it in. This little app called Motion, like, sort of moves the task that I put in it to an appropriate time for the next day. So it kind of takes down a little bit more of the management, the time management for me, and again makes it a little bit easier. But I'm starting to almost lose track of the things that I've got. That's my issue, is you want everything to sort of be wonderful and seamless and get incredibly used to it. But I know, for instance, with Nimble, I'm probably using it about 20% of its capability. And sometimes I'm thinking like, oh, cripes, well, keeping up with the videos and keeping up with the training, but then I've got to learn how to use something else on Premiere Pro. I've got to use something else on Audition. And it's just keeping a pace with everything and all the updates that can be a little intimidating. I mean, there may be some guys here who are early adopters, for instance, or who are really, who love their new gadgets and their new tools. I like them, but I do wish I was using them properly, like to the best of their abilities. Sorry, Joanne, you have your hand up in the top left there.
That's okay. No, it was interesting. Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, I've been in business for 4 years now, and I've been trying different CRM systems as my business changes along the way. And I'm actually using a new one now, so getting my feet around that. Mine is a Bloom, so still evaluating it, but liking it so far. But as far as change, like Peter alluded, I mean, with my business, I had to completely reinvent my business because of the pandemic. And if I hadn't been open to looking at ways to change my business, I mean, I may not still be in business because of the circumstances. And by embracing the virtual possibilities, has actually created areas for my business to grow that I wouldn't necessarily have thought of originally. So embracing change is definitely very important within business.
Hendrik, you've got your hand up there as well. Thank you, Joanne.
Oh, thanks very much. Yeah. So I've also, Ethan and I have been looking at a number of CRM systems over the past year. We've also been in business just over 2 years now. We've tried everything from Zoho through spreadsheets to all sorts of different things and paid things, and looked at all sorts of things. And eventually we came back to a system we'd used before, which we use for task management, called ClickUp. And they have a database thing, and we're working with Janine for our sales, and ClickUp seems to work for us. It's a free tool, and it's a nice visual representation. So I just keep it up all the time, and I check it at least twice a day, going through who can I contact? Was there anybody I can follow up? Is there somebody's, I want to change your color. What can I do to do that? So that's a useful tool for me. But you also, talking about embracing change, I have been very resistant for any AI tools. And in recent times, I've realized just how handy they are and just how many they are. I said to Ethan the other day, I think ChatGPT is kind of the gateway drug to AI, because it's the one thing that got me and sucked me in. And then suddenly I'm like exploring all these tools that I never knew existed and are quite advanced, and some of them really good and very useful. For us specifically, we use transcription tools, and we found one which is very accurate. Very little work you have to do with that. I found another perfect tool that translates the transcription into an article and takes all the relevant points and makes quite good sense out of it. I'm very impressed with that. And then ChatGPT is useful for all the social media posts and those things. I read a post the other day saying we're all going to get very lazy as writers because we can just shove it off and have it done. But it does make things easier and gives us more time also to do the more important things, which is working with the clients and making the money come in. I don't want to spend all my time on LinkedIn, which is a very important tool, but I don't want to spend the whole day feeding that algorithm when I can do it in 10 minutes using an AI perhaps and just tweaking it. So that for me has been a bit of a game changer and has made things easier, and has also made me realize where I still need a human, where I still need somebody to do things for me, even if it is to manage that whole process of getting content repurposed using some of these new tools that are available to us today. So that's Hendrik from Baird Media. We help you to make podcasts, and we're here in South Africa. And loving the new format of the show.
I love that, Hendrik. That's the key word there, process. You got to have a process for these systems to filter in and use each other and so on and so forth, whether that's automation or Zapier or whatever that is. So that process that you have will always need a human touch, because you need to figure out what that process that works for you. Awesome. Come on in, Niki.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what Hendrik was saying about the AI tools, because surprisingly for myself, actually, I found myself in the beta testing group for the ChatGPT in November last year. Don't know how that happened. Yeah, I know. I'm watching James' face. Really? Seriously? Yeah, really. And it's been a game changer for me in terms of my neurodiversity. Is that a word? Yeah. Because I've always struggled to articulate my thoughts into text, whether it be on screen or on paper, and it's a lifelong thing that I've struggled with. And now I've sort of been studying prompt engineering a little bit, and so I've been getting fantastic results out. But yes, exactly what Hendrik says, and everyone is saying, that you cannot get away from the human touch. You cannot. I put everything into Word or some other kind of, Word actually mostly. And I edit it, and I find it so much easier. So I've created content, I've created courses, I've created workshops, strategies, all sorts of things. I found really good support, with different platforms. And then I've actually found this guy who's on nas.io from Indonesia, and the platform is from Indonesia, and he's basically collected all this AI data and platforms, and it's like in such nice organizational things, and it's free, so I'll stick it on there if you want. But it's got all sorts of different AI platforms that you can try for free, and you know, and yeah, try before you buy. I love that. So it's website stuff, it's email handling, it's WhatsApp responses. It's really fantastic. So yeah, okay. Yeah, good
That
point.
does sound really useful. I'm quite impressed that it actually only took us 15 minutes to get onto AI. I thought that it might, I wasn't sure if we were going to just like dive straight in there after about 1.5 seconds, and then it just
I
AI
admire the
through.
restraint about that, I have to say. Restraint is good.
I mean, I'm very pleased to hear everyone saying they still want to use humans. This is very good for me as a voiceover artist, because, you know, this is a big thing, unsurprisingly, in my industry. But I think what we've been talking about is that you have to think of AI rather than Skynet and the Terminators coming to take everything away from us. It's a tool. It's a tool that can be used. That is one of the tools in our arsenal. And if we're able to use that, it can do this. It can do things like systemize things for us. It can do things like, you know, work as an encyclopedia, or work as something to give us access to take away some of the small stuff that otherwise we invest a lot of time in, when we could perhaps be doing more productive or more lucrative things for our businesses. And that is where it will be very useful. But if you, of course, there are plenty of things that can be a little bit worrying, and you do have to be careful with it, at least with my voiceover industry. Anyway, Peter, what do you think, sir? How can we help?
Just a small disclaimer: none of us sell CRMs, so we're not trying to sell you anything. In my mind, something that really helped me a lot, and I think has helped a lot of people in regards to AI. Yes, you're right; it has to have the human element in it, and a really good way of doing that, especially when you're working in maybe ChatGPT, is speech to text. A nice application for speech to text, and then you can literally talk to it instead of trying to sit and word things and write things out. And I found that if you're talking to it, the process of taking a look at what is generated and then maybe not quite liking what you see, and having the ability to just talk about what you don't like about what it's just written, makes life a whole lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. There are I think there's so many applications that, and again, this is the pace of change with something like AI. I heard that what was it, that I think it's doubling in the amount it knows every 3 months, whereas technology was going before the technological curve, which was started to go like this, especially like after the millennium. But AI is taking it almost to a completely different level in terms of the speed with which it learns. Amazing, really.
Just don't give them the codes.
They'll
Okay.
probably find them out, Niki. That's the problem.
I don't know. Yeah, just don't give them. I've watched too much sci-fi, and I'm like, please, you guys are pathetic. We're like at least 2 years away from that.
No, absolutely. Janine, rocking in up there.
Yeah, it's just, you know, as an entrepreneur, you constantly assess the market and its landscape and analyze consumer needs. And, you know, you're constantly evaluating your own efficiency and your own strategies with everything that's going on, with all the AIs that's popping up, all the systems that can streamline communication and help you with marketing. But I do think by maintaining some sort of mindset and embracing the unexpected, you're kind of positioning yourself to emerging certain trends and creating a really meaningful impact. So don't walk away from these unexpected turns. It could be a really beautiful horizon at the end. So embrace it. It, as you've mentioned earlier, it's a tool. It shouldn't make you a tool if you're catching the drift. Yeah.
So aside from AI, I mean, it can be extra on AI. What has been, for instance, like the most useful a tool or addition to the business that you've put in, something new that you've used in your business over, let's say, the last 6 months? Have people put in some new methodology, some new piece of kit, some new piece of software that's really had significantly beneficial results to the business? Peter, smack bang.
I have definitely put the best applications into my space, and it's taken years to pick and choose and decide and test and to see which are the best to actually use. And I've realized that no matter what you use, if you're not choosing people over applications, you're in the wrong space. And that for me is what's been like the deciding factor in my business, positioning people. So I mean, yes, we can go through all the apps and choose the best to function as a solo entrepreneur, which is an extremely lonely journey. But having said that, if you are not building relationships and meeting people and positioning people around you and allowing other people to position you around them, then it's going to be an incredibly lonely journey. And the only way we can create spaces like this, like the new and improved coffee shop conversation show, and like stepping into the educational spaces with Mancosa, and like getting salespeople from around the world, to represent your products. And without those people, our space is nothing. We can make it run as efficiently as we want to. It can do everything for you. You can get the best apps that do everything that they can possibly. You don't have to lift a finger and it gets done. But if there's no people, there's nothing worth doing. So I thought I'd mention that.
Keeping the human touch, like it, absolutely. And Niki?
Okay, I promise you this is not a contrived thing, but I was actually going to say the biggest improvements that I've made and added to my business is people. I promise. So I'm doing coaching with, kind of coaching with a guy called Dave here in Dubai, who is a speaker. He has a Speak on Stage program. So I'm in his Game Changers program to get my story right and to, get what I'm saying properly, and it's people. And yeah, I mean, all the networking in the world doesn't, having people actually, and actually not talking about work is sometimes, with people that you network with or that you have in your business, or like colleagues almost. I think of you guys as colleagues. That you and the rest of the world actually, but it's important. It really is important. And just to carry on from what Peter was saying, if you don't have people and everything is automated and all that, it's for me very much akin to calling, and it's like press 1 for this, press 2 for that, and then automated voices, and all I want to speak to is a person. So just saying, yeah, kudos.
Yeah, God, those things are the worst, aren't they? Every, gets through 55 different options of the menu. And maybe I shouldn't do this because actually this is part of my work sometimes, is making these annoying menus. So I do apologize for that. But
if it was you, I'd listen. But
would that be all right? Oh, thanks, Niki. But of course, they're designed, aren't you, to keep you away from people. They're deliberately designed to do that. So you get to. And I always wonder, like, sort of, are there a specific, like, 2 or 3 people dealing with 52117, and then just sitting there with their little filofax ready to filofax. There we go. You see what computer, ready to answer your question. It still takes just as long. I think if you just press 0000, human, please.
9. It's usually 9 in South Africa. 9. Yeah, you press 9.
Yeah.
And it takes you to a call agent.
Sometimes it takes you to a call agent. They might have got wise to that, but yeah, no, those things are deeply frustrating. Oh, dearie me. But I think building relationships is huge. There are there are certain businesses, I think, which can be very automated, and of course, if you're doing, sometimes you don't really need to speak to people at all. In a business like mine, you have to. It's absolutely vital. And if you're doing something where you want to maintain a long-term and hopefully repeat business with people, then investing that time into getting to know people and having those one-to-ones, and hopefully finding out either way you might be able to collaborate with somebody, or you might be at least able to put some referrals their way down the line, is huge. Can be hugely beneficial. I've made it like a real pillar of what I do, also because I love it. Funnily enough, I like talking, so that's a big benefit for me. Lesetja, welcome, sir.
Thanks, James. Thank you, and hi, everyone. I just wanted to add on a bit about what Peter said, and I think you also touched on it, James. The human factor in every business. I mean, I know some time ago when technology took an upswing, and we were scared that the robots are going to take over and this is going to take over. And I think it's the same debate that we're having now with AI, that it's going to take over the world. And as you were speaking now, I was just thinking, what if we get to a stage where you you want to diagnose yourself, you put your thumb on your phone, it diagnoses you, sends information into a pharmacy, and not a person but a bot picks up the medication that you need and flies it over to you. Would that work? I think there'll be a lot of wrong misdiagnosis. So I think in every sphere, in every field, whether it's in entrepreneurship, whether it's in the working world, which is where I am at the moment, you need humans. You need a human touch. And the space that we're in now, where we're sharing information, where we are assisting and helping each other, this for me, it's AI. Because Joanne will come up with something new, we learn about it. That's AI. Do I have to fly to UK to take a picture? No, I can do it from here. Do I have to ask Janine to or Somerville, Janine, whoever it is, because they all work in the same thing, to help me with my office work? No, they can do it from wherever they are. So for me, this space is a perfect space, and this is an AI human space. Thank you.
Logistic, can you tell us where you're from, what you do, real quick?
Yes. I am Lesetja Mokou, and I am your business development agent. Also, working with Bird Media for podcasting.
Janine also has her hand up.
Yeah, I always have something to say when it comes to the human factor of things, because I don't care how many AI stuff gets created and how many prompts it makes per month, but without the human, there's no passion. There's no proper motivation for ideas, for ventures. And I think the inner feel that really determines the resilience of us as humans, AI cannot take that away. So what I'm trying to say here is that as an entrepreneur, whether you just started your journey or you've been an entrepreneur for years, don't get trapped in that AI net. Because without humans, you are not going to survive. I can tell you that with certainty. And without a proper network like we have here, same thing.
I agree, Janine, so much. And Susan was saying the same thing on the YouTube stream about that, just a relationship, an honest interest in each other, which is why this Explore ProTech is so important. Coffee first, business later. So, and I agree that the human touch, that's why I love community like this. I'm very selective in what communities I'm in, because I want good human beings that help me build not only myself up, but we build each other up. And I am grateful for technology because I can do it virtually. So who would, I'm in the US, y'all are on the other side of the world, all of you, except for me, I'm the lone ghost. So I love it. I mean, if I didn't have that technology, then yeah, we wouldn't be doing this show. Like we would be, at a coffee house having a chat. We would definitely not be on the screen having that chat. And I'm going on 5 years of being in my business, and it was actually started in person to help somebody, but then it was virtual after that. It has been virtual ever since. And I've only met maybe 5 people in person. Everybody, it's always been virtual. I love meeting people in person, don't get me wrong, but I definitely think that the human touch, my communities were like the second people I told when the grandbabies were born. Like it was like family, then get on my community platform so I can go announce these amazing grandchildren into the world. So I think that's really cool to have that human touch, and with that we always need that. Come on, Peter, rockstar.
I think let's not forget that technology since the beginning of time was designed for a very simple purpose, and that was to make our lives easier and to save us time. Since the square wheel and carts being dragged around on square wheels, and somebody came up with a bright idea, and they were like, why don't we just make the wheel round? It'll make our lives easier, and we'll get there a lot faster, saving us time. And I view AI exactly the same way. It was square, now it's round. It's designed to make our lives easier and save us time. And I think that's just the best way to view it as for what it's designed for. I don't think it's designed to replace us. And if it was designed to replace us, then we'd all be going to the army and arming ourselves and shooting computers. But we're not. So I think just see it for what it is. We can run our businesses. It gives us more time to interact with other people because we have something that is a tool that is now around, saving us time and making life easier.
I think there's always the fear of the unknown. Everyone here has different businesses. The issue on my side is that I know people, for instance, who've had their voices cloned, and they've had their voices cloned from a job they actually did 20 years ago. Now, they work for IBM, and IBM have kept this database of voices that they used from 20 years ago. And because the rights at that point, obviously AI as we know it didn't really exist. And now some of these old voices have gone onto a platform called Revoicer, and one of a colleague of mine is there saying, well, that's me. I didn't give permission for this. This is potentially very, very damaging. So it just shows that there's absolutely, and I was saying earlier that it is a tool, but you do have to be a little bit careful with what you allow, or with what you put out there sometimes as well, and how you. I think legislation will come in, especially in terms of like for people who are in the performing space or sphere, so that rather like musical artists, the copyright will become a more important thing for people like me. But again, it's difficult, but the genie is out of the bottle, so it's not going away. At the end of the day, we are going to have to live with it and hopefully use it to our advantage. So it's I think you have to be kind of hyper aware in certain circumstances with the things you give out, and make sure that it's not being used to, or it might become detrimental to you in the future. That's all, as much as we can. Stephen, sorry.
Thanks, James. Yeah, sorry, I came in a bit late, but for good reason. And I think just got the gist of what you're saying. And I think when we tend to forget, if we cast our minds back to 1995 or around thereabouts, when computers started coming in, we forget quickly how we were probably having the same conversations what are we going to do? What's computers going to do? We're going to lose the human touch, and we just haven't. So yeah, I got to come off the back of what Pete said. Is I think we can use AI to become more efficient, free us up of time, so that we can spend maybe more time together. And something that we need to do, because I know in the businesses that I work in and the clients I work with, one of the biggest challenges for them, not leaders, not conversing with their people, is because they don't have time. If AI does that and allows them to actually communicate with their people, then it's a fantastic thing. So I think if we can look at it from an efficiency point of view and not let it encompass us. And one thing that came up while you were chatting, James, is also we mustn't let AI speak for us. So, you know, you can go on to this ChatGPT, you can go on to things, you can get AI to write a speech for you. But, you know, I don't think we should let it speak for us, because you still have your own voice, you have your own style, you have your own way. And we mustn't lose that.
Couldn't agree more.
So yeah, thank you, Stephen Dare to be coaching and beyond in a cold Cape Town. Not as
All right,
cold
James.
as Johannesburg.
James, are we ready for our new segment?
I think we are. Is the world ready? Is
are.
the question.
Is it ready? Are they ready? Are they ready?
We're about to find out.
We're about to find out. So we are going to bring back new and improved. That's not bringing back. We're going to bring the new and improved F-biz show with Miss Janine and Somerville. Somerville is having a little tech issue. So Miss Janine, take it away.
New and improved, and I'm unfortunately alone talking about technology being your best friend. Not tonight or today. But that's okay. We are super excited to be here. It is really exciting to have the F-biz show and new and improved for sure. And with regards to being here today, it's with you guys as amazing entrepreneurs. And yeah, I'm running from Dubai, and obviously I'm co-hosting with a brilliant and dynamic entrepreneur, Somerville from South Africa, who's unfortunately having issues. But we still love her, and she's still with us in some way because she can sort of hear us, but she can't see us at all. So it's just absolutely thrilling, and it's a world of innovation, growth, and of course, to pursue excellence in the entrepreneurial landscape. So before we continue, I just want to quickly, the F-biz show is all about highlighting the fun fact about being an entrepreneur, right? Because it is fun. It's very stressful, but it's fun too. It is very much so. And embracing that creativity and celebrating those wins and collaborating with passionate individuals and maintaining a positive mindset throughout the whole journey. Doesn't that sound like fun? Yes, it does. So why? Well, it's quite easy, because entrepreneurship is what makes the world go round. True story, true story. Just look around the room. The Zoom room I'm talking about now. So yeah, get ready, because this is really going to be a fantastic journey. And we actually want to welcome someone that we're going to interview here with us in the F-biz show. And that is our grandpa, Stephen Levy. So if you can do a virtual hand clap, we are so, well, I just said clap in Afrikaans. I meant a hand, a virtual hand clap. Mr. Levy, you know what? It is so awesome to have you here. Yeah. And it's, you know, can I just say something? Why was the grandpa banned from the zoo?
Why was he banned?
Yeah, because he had a lion's heart. And that, Stephen Levy, is so you. So congratulations. First of all, before we hit this road, happy, and so many congrats on that new amazing news.
Thank you. Thank you, Janine. Yeah, very exciting. Yeah, sure. Bit lost at the moment, yeah. And actually fantastic. You know, you were talking earlier about technology. So I was able to see, because my daughter's and son-in-law's second kid, so they had a reveal which is obviously a boy, but they had their little, my first grandson doing it, and we were able to see it while they were in Stockholm. So yeah, there's a thumbs up for AI.
I have got goosebumps. That is so beautiful to actually
Yeah,
be
it
able
was,
to be part of that big reveal. That is
yeah,
just brings back the human factor, doesn't it?
absolutely. Yeah, I think it's true what you said earlier. You can't take, while yes, first prize would have been in person, but it was hell of a close. You know, watching him going and open the box, they involved him and so on. So yeah, there's the advantages of AI
Oh, for sure.
and
Now,
technology.
Stephen, following up on the discussion we had earlier
Yes.
within the coffee shop conversation show, as an entrepreneur, we understand that, you know, success is built on constant improvement and staying ahead of the game. Could you possibly share with us and our viewers and listeners a personal experience in striving for new and improved in your entrepreneurial journey?
Wow. I think, you know, Janine, I think I get to experience that daily. So I'm very privileged, and not necessarily through AI. Well, through AI, but from my clients. So every session I have with my clients is a new experience. It's a new learning for me, because there's no one size fits all. Everybody's different, the way they approach things, the way they. So I'm learning. I'm in such a privileged space to be learning every day. So it's a really beautiful space to be in, which I'm blessed for. Personal, a more like standout personal experience was understanding. We're constantly looking to become more efficient, and I think we are in the space that I work in. It's important for people in business to look. Efficiency is a big word, because especially in a depressed market, you know, you can improve your bottom line without increasing your revenue if you become more efficient inside your business. So we need to look at things like AI. We need to look at our people. You cannot look at one and not the other. They both go hand in hand. I look in my business to become more efficient, and actually the lady, she's not here tonight, I don't think, well, I don't see her, but Ernestine helped me in that regard. And it took me a long time to recap and review every session that I do with my clients. I do a recap, but I can't listen to them and type on while I'm on Zoom and type on Word. So I have to write. I've tried it, it doesn't work. So I write, but then I take those notes and I've got to type them out. And then Ernestine showed me how to use 2 different forms of technology to actually speed that process up. And she cut my time down from probably about an hour to about 10 minutes. So that's what a great learning. And I've actually passed that knowledge on to some of my clients as well. And so how awesome is that? So you can make a difference to a lot of people through one person.
Oh, for sure. I definitely agree with you on that. And it's so spot on, because you can't know everything. We want to know everything, but you just can't. And that's why you have human entrepreneurs that can share their experiences with you, with passion and emotion. And it's you know, feedback is really a catalyst of for us as entrepreneurs for growth. So how do you use your feedback from your clients effectively to actually create real change for you in your business?
There's one thing the first one is I ask for it. And the second one is I listen to it. So I ask my clients if there's anything they would like to have seen different, if the outcomes or expectations were met. And it's important for me. It's because I constantly review and assess what I'm doing. And there's no, you know, I can do it. And I like to think that I'm brutally honest with myself after sessions or as I think about my coaching and so on. But I think you won't get really any better feedback from clients, and not only clients, even people in networking. I can't see out. And I think we need to be open to it, Janine. You know, one must be open to feedback. But there is a kicker with it. It's if the feedback is done in the right, with the right, what is it called, attitude, and just not with the right attitude, but with dignity and respect, and given towards growth, given feedback so that you can grow. Otherwise, it's not right mindset. Thank you, Sondra. And I think it's important. So I think one must be selective who you're getting the feedback from. And I always ask my clients, I don't only want to know what went well, if it met their expectations, what went well, but I do ask them to be upfront and honest, if they want to be, in what would they like to have seen differently, because it's the only way I'm going to grow. If you hear it from the horse's mouth.
Approach. It's really a great approach, but fear kicks in immediately. That failure of asking your clients the positive and the negative feedback. How do you embrace those answers?
Just with a thank you.
The Stephen Levy way.
Well, we mustn't ask for feedback if we're not going to be open to it. So I think that's number one. Number two is, if generally the feedback is asked, and it can only be, it can only be asked after you've built up a relationship. Otherwise, what are they going to give you feedback on? And if the relationship is that strong, I've experienced that people will be honest, and people have been honest with me in my feedback, and I welcome it. So I've been given stuff like, sometimes I'm speaking too fast or I mumble. The clients told me that they struggle to hear what I'm saying. So it's good, because it makes me conscious of my next client when I go to them, or next time I'm on, especially on Zoom. So feedback in person, in another network, is that I never speak on time or within the time. And that's good feedback to get, Yeah. I don't feel ashamed about it. It's something I don't do intentionally, so I'm unconscious of it, and then I need someone to highlight that to me. And if we really value the person that we're giving the feedback to, okay, it would be irresponsible of us if we think one thing and we don't tell them, because then we're not helping them.
Yeah, exactly. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, Stephen,
yes, Janine.
What advice would you give to inspiring entrepreneurs who want to embark on their own new and improved journey?
Well, I think there's one thing I say is just go out there and try and network with people who have already on their journey, like the people sitting in this room. I know you actually been writing about it quite a lot, because I do follow you. You write a lot about mentorship, and yeah, I think if an entrepreneur is starting out on their journey can get a really good mentor, which is also hard to find, but to get a mentor because generally mentors will give up. It's unlike coaching; they give up their time at no charge. A good mentor, if they have the interest of the entrepreneur at heart and they're happy to share their experiences, that they can really accelerate an entrepreneur's journey, and they can help them more than accelerate it. They can help them overcome the fears that one will face on the entrepreneurial journey. So I think it's invaluable to have a mentor, and I think it's priceless. And something I've experienced, and I've worked in 3 mentorship programs, is when somebody is assigned a mentor and they don't make use of it, they don't pitch up, they don't acknowledge, they don't respond to emails. I think it's seriously, besides it being disrespectful, they don't realize what they're missing out on, because that's something they will not get in any tertiary institution. They won't get it in any textbook, what mentors can teach them. So yeah, I think that's the one golden nugget I can give to entrepreneurs.
I love that.
Go, yeah.
Absolutely spot on. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights with us today, Stephen. And to our viewers, remember that new and improved, it's just a goal. It's a mindset that empowers us to actually create better solutions and truly make a lasting impact. Now, Stephen, if people want to get hold of you, please put your information in the chat so that we can share it worldwide.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully people will connect with you and resonate with what you said today.
Yeah, thank you, Janine. But you know, if they watch the recording of this, they can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could have just gone 3 3s and 9. My maths wasn't that bad, but there are 9 people here that can really, that have mounds of information. Everybody specialists in their own right. So, you know, actually, if they want to, I will put my details. Thank you very much. But if they want to, they can also just join Explore ProTech, and then they get access to so many people. Yeah.
Absolutely agree.
I learned so much from, you know, the coffee shop shows, from this, and now the new release of it, and the other events that Explore ProTech offer. Just sitting and listening, you know, you listen to people like Lesetja chatting, you listen to Hendrik speaking about podcasting. You know, Joanne still amazes me with that. She does this virtual photography, and it's insane. You know, Sondra and holding people accountable. Niki Marshall is like the queen of connectors. So she knows, I don't think there's anybody that Niki doesn't know. So, you know, yourself in sales, James, voiceover. So there's just so much, just 9 people sitting here and listen to what I've mentioned. And there's still a lot of people that unfortunately were not able to make it here tonight that have so much to offer.
Very true. A
Yeah,
very diverse group of people here at Explore ProTech.
Great space for entrepreneurs to hop into.
Absolutely agree.
This is where you're not alone.
That's it. This is where you learn with real people. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us here at the F-biz show, combined with the Coffee Shops Conversation show. This is all for today's new and improved topic. We hope that you found the discussion inspiring and filled with actionable ideas. And join us next week for some more exciting conversations with another entrepreneur. So keep innovating, keep growing, and keep thriving for new and improved. Back to you, Jason and Sondra. I meant James. Sorry, I don't know who's Jason.
Sorry, Jason. Where's this Jason? Is he coming in?
It's probably your twin you don't know of.
Thank you, Janine, especially for having to do that all on your own, which was brilliant. And thank you, Stephen, for sharing all your wisdom, sir. It's always very, 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 very much welcome. And I think, boys and girls, we're coming to the end tonight. Yeah, rock on. Well done, new and improved. Conversation show. I think that went pretty well.
Thank you,
no one
James.
had a heart attack. No one fainted.
Yeah, we're all still here.
Except for Peter. Peter, wake up.
Peter, wake up. Peter always got to be extra. We love him for it. So I want to end it with Nastine, since she is not here, but she's here in her spirit. So as Nastine always says, may all your wildest entrepreneurial dreams come true. And we cannot wait to see you all next week. So make sure to join us every Monday. Bye, everybody.